deal with one question, because one of the challenges we have, and we get into deep what Israel's responsibility is, but there are a lot of organizations who claim that they are pro-Israel. And I think that one of the important topics is to define who is pro-Israel and who is not pro-Israel. So in sport, when they say pro, it's a professional, it's the best, so in my opinion, you can't be pro-Israel if you're attacking Israel, if you're going to other government and putting pressure on Israel. I want to hear your opinion. How does Israel see it?
Yeah, I think we live in a time that sometimes very basic knowledge is being distorted. And I think that the definition of Zionism is very, very simple. It is Jewish nationalism, the right of the Jews to have a sovereign state in Eretz Israel. If you support the right of the Jews to have a sovereign state in Eretz Israel, you're a Zionist. If not, you're not, and you can describe yourself as a pro-Israeli. And I think that today, an organization that wouldn't say that is a Zionist organization, and would say it out loud, because I myself fed up with the fact that people are, oh, it's complicated and I can't say Zionism loudly. I think if you cannot say I'm a Zionist clearly and to be proud of it, that's a shame, and that's maybe the greatest challenge that we have here. The goal should be to have young Jews, especially because they are dealing with most of the attacks. I want young Jews in campuses all over the state and all over the world to be proud Jews and to be proud Zionists, and I think it goes together, and I think that's what it means to be a pro-Israel. Because Israel is eventually Israel.
I agree with you, but I'm sure you know it. Our enemies were able to put the Zionist word as a bad word. So a lot of people don't want to say they're Zionist, even if they are. That's an issue we have in America and many subjects today. The second question that I want to deal with is, what is Israel's responsibility in fighting anti-Semitism across the world? And what did you find out so far was done prior to you being responsible for that? And I know you don't have the full plan now, but I know you've got some ideas.
Okay, so actually the responsibility of Israel regarding to anti-Semitism is actually written in law. בחוק הלאום, the nation law, in chapter 6 it says that it is the responsibility of the state of Israel to take care for the security of Jews wherever they are. And since anti-Semitism is not just an idea, but it creates actual facts. I just came from a discussion with the emissary, with the shlichim of the Sochnut in the campuses here in the US, and I heard some really terrible stories about a girl in a room. She drove a Chanukah for Hanukkah on her private board on the room, and her maid in the room wiped out the Chanukah and written in Arabic, "Go away, Jewish rats." Now, she was removed from the room, and not her friend who drove the anti-Semitic slogan on the wall. To me, I think it's, first of all, it's shocking to hear that so brutal anti-Semitism is taking place here in the US, or signs that are being posted in campuses saying the Holocaust never exists and it's fake, etc., etc. All students in Michigan University shouting Intifada, Intifada, and there is only one solution, and we all have a very, let's say, a very sensitive hearing to these kind of terms. There is only one solution. So anti-Semitism, it's not just an idea, it's becoming an actual threat to the safety of Jewish students, of Israeli students here in the US, and it is our problem as the state of Israel, and I will do whatever I can to assist Jewish students and Israeli students to stand still and to be strong against these acts of hate.
That's quite different. I think from my involvement and discussion in Israel, again, the benefit that we in Israel and America have, we watch the Israeli news every day. We talk to our parents, to our friends, and we understand. Most people in Israel, I think, have no clue of what's going on in America as far as anti-Semitism. And I can tell you, even here, 10 years ago, I asked myself how people live in Paris, how Jews live in Paris, why they live there, they attack with why don't. And here we are in the US, and we're getting there, unfortunately. So the responsibility of Israel is challenging, because as you know, your responsibility on anti-Semitism was in a different office, it moved to a different office, and now it's in your office, which I'm very happy. Do you think that Israel should, in addition to that, create an Iron Dome, a big Iron Dome, such as they have, agencies in Israel, they have IDF, Shabak, Mossad, that deal all day with the threats against Israel? This is another front. Should Israel even be in there and make sure that not just they react when it needed, but they promote to all the good stuff? I don't know how many people know that the Speaker of the House in Israel is a gay person. Well, that's news, and there are a lot of LGBT community members that are anti-Semite because they have no clue anything about Israel. So how do you think the government of Israel, because you will do probably great, and you will be in office hopefully 4 years, but we don't know where this office will be next time.
So I think you have a point here. It needs to be more organized, and we need to invest more people, resources, money in order to deal with this challenge. I think the BDS and the delegitimization of Israel today is a serious threat, not just to the security of Jewish students here, but we need to think about the outcome. These are the leaders. Today's students are the leaders of tomorrow, and it will be very, very difficult to have the ally with the United States stable and strong if students in campuses in the US and in Europe will become hostile to the state of Israel. So therefore I think that you are absolutely right that there needs to be something more organized, solid that will last, as you mentioned, other organizations for a long distance. That's one note. And the second note, I think that the best way to deal with the delegitimization of Israel is knowledge. The fact that young Jews who live here, they don't know much about the state of Israel. They don't know much sometimes about Jewish identity. In Zionist history, it makes it difficult to defend the Zionist idea. And therefore we need also to put an effort on Jewish and Zionist education at home, because we don't have better let's say, troops on the ground that will defend the Zionist idea than Jewish students. And if we don't have the Jewish students with us, and then there is no chance to win. We need young Jews to be proud and proud Zionists, that it takes an effort, an educational effort, from elementary school and on.
If I had a wish, what we take back to Israel when you go back is that moment of how important this front is and how much investment Israel has to put, not just in money, but by the way, no organization can do it, not AIPAC, not ICL, no other great organization which all exist here. It's only the government of Israel that has the tool, the resources, and I think it's a responsibility, like you mentioned earlier. And we need to stop being on, you mentioned defense and protecting. No, we need to be on offense and support. We don't win by defense and all this. And we don't do any offense. Every time there is an issue, we go on defense and try to explain ourselves. Most of the time in today's world, it's too late. When someone clicks a button, tens of millions get it, and go explain it later. So I think we need to work on both, and that's why I said. I
absolutely agree. We bring in another issue, which is really, you cannot, it's like soccer, you cannot win the game if you play only on your half side of the field. You need to go to the rivalry side of the field and to really attack. And I think it is very easy to attack, because we're not saying it, but the most anti-Semite entity on the face of earth is the Palestinian Authority. The most anti-Semite entity on the face of earth. And just For example, 2-3 months ago, we had Abu Mazen coming to Germany saying in front of the president of Germany that Israel committed 50 Holocausts. That's a pure Holocaust denial in the face of the president of Germany. Munich. Last night we mentioned Munich, 50 years for the events in Munich, the massacre in Munich of the sportsmen. The Palestinians, they could have said, okay, we regret it. We regret the fact that we murdered 11 innocent sportsmen. They didn't do it. They could say we are not mentioning the event. They didn't do it. They celebrated their hero action of killing unarmed, innocent sportsmen. And we weren't enough aggressive and we didn't attack the Palestinians as much as needed for their brutal and violent messages and Holocaust denial. And I urge you, the audience, to take action on social media, articles, whatever you can to assist us with this mission.
One more thing, and then I'd love to open for Q&A so we can have a discussion. But another thing that you need to understand, by the way, I want to recognize all the elected officials that are in the room. You guys are our brothers and sisters. Some of you are not even Jewish, and what you do for the Jewish people and for the sake of Israel is nothing short of amazing. So I want to thank each one of you.
Let's mention one man. I don't know him personally. His name is Phil King. He's here from Texas, the government official here in Texas, and he created a law to fight the BDS. And people, pro-Palestinians, swear that they canceled the law, and he re-legislated the law once again to fight and help the state of Israel. He's not a Jew, he lives here in Texas. I wrote the document about everything that he does. I don't know him, I never met him, but I admire Phil King. And I said to myself, Phil King, if you are listening, you are Phil. I sure do.
So since you mentioned Phil, I like all the elected officials to stand. I see the judge, I see
The judge,
everything. So the last thing that I want you to take back and then we'll go to Q&A is what's happening in the political arena in the USA and how politicians feel about Israel. So there are the hardcore people that love and believe in Israel and its values, and few of them are here in the room and many of them are out there, but a lot of them, they're friends. But I can tell you from my discussions with senators, federal senators, and House members, they're telling me that they cannot say what today what they used to say 4 years ago. They're not willing to write what they said. Some of them are not willing to visit. They say, I love you, I'll vote for you, but I can't say that. So this is something when Israel sees results of a vote of 400 versus 20 or whatever, it's misleading. This can turn very, very quick. And this is where, again, Israel needs to invest so much because we will just wake up one day and it will be a different reality. So we'll go to, if anyone has any questions for the minister. You can say your name, where you're from, and your question.
My name is Asaf, I'm from Texas. And question to the Minister of Diaspora, how do you plan to overcome the differences between your colleagues in government who took the liberty to decide who is a legit Jew and the non-Orthodox Jewish groups around the world, especially in the US?
It's not true, so it's easy to answer.
Go ahead.
The fact
No, it's not true, so there is nothing to answer. But honestly,
So I want to rephrase the question. How do you plan to bring the non-Orthodox, like the Reform and the Conservative, closer to Israel?
Okay, I think that that's a different question, a legitimate question, and I think that the main problem is that most of the people in Israel, they never met someone from a conservative congregation or community, and never met someone from the Reform community. Why? Because in Israel it's very, very small numbers. It's a simple fact. It is very, very, very small. It's almost barely exists. And here it's millions of people who are reforms and conservative. And I think that one of the mission is to take first decision makers from the state of Israel to the US so they can learn about the variety of Jewish life that exists here in the US. And that would be one step that we do in order to create better relationship, because it's also affects the issue that we are talking about here. And you are right to put it. It's not. It's relevant for the issue. It's relevant for the issue.
So I just want to, the panel is on anti-Semitism, and I know we have a lot of people who want to ask questions, so let's try to focus on that, and we'll try to make the question and answer as short so everyone will get time.
Hi, good morning. My name is Olga Deutsch. I'm the Vice President of NGO Monitor, Mr. Chikli.
Oh, wow. I admire NGO Monitor, by the way. Amazing organization that create research about all the funding that goes to the most radical BDS organization everywhere else. So באמת כל הכבוד.
Thank you, Mr. Chikli. Thank you for coming all the way to Texas. I think it is a very strong statement from the incoming government only a few days into the swearing in. And I wanted to raise the issue of the so-called human rights non-governmental organizations, which is the issue that we research and map out. In the last 20 years, there has been a process of politicization of human rights space, which is exactly the space that where we, the Jews and the Israelis, with the traditional Tikkun Olam, are now all of a sudden not welcome. And only yesterday, the Harvard Kennedy School announced that the dean reversed the decision, and the Ken Roth of Human Rights Watch.
There is a big line behind you. Can you just answer?
I want to ask the question, what will be the policy of the new government, and whether you will be looking also into the offense when it comes to the human rights space and the non-governmental organizations who are seeking to harm us.
So I just want to give an example. It would be, I think, very interesting for the audience for collaboration with NGO Monitor. It's very important. I sent a letter to the ambassador of the EU recently, just yesterday, and I asked him about an organization. There's this radical left organization that sent a letter to the President of the United States asking them to cut the security investment in the state of Israel, and they created a damage to the relationship with the United States. Now, when you go and check who is funding these organizations that call themselves Combatant for Peace, by the way, it's a violent organization, you go and see that more than half of the budget is funded directly by the EU. So I asked the ambassador, if the EU says that it supports Israel and it respects its sovereignty, how can it fund radical organizations that are asking the United States to put sanctions on the state of Israel? And that's, by the way, part of the offense that we are speaking about. Thank you.
Barry Shea, Boston, the greatest chapter of the IAC in the country, of course.
By the way, Barry was one of the first leaders, Jewish American leader, way when the IAC started, that said, I'm going to work with you, I'm going to strengthen you, and I'm going to be your partner, and he was. So thank you so much.
So the question for kids on campus really is a question of Jewish pride. There's not everything that you can do to strengthen Jewish pride, but there's a lot of people in this room who can strengthen Jewish pride. All the anti-Semitism on campus, 50 pro-Palestinians, 100 pro-Palestinians who put up and partake wall. But you know what? All of those kids last night who were dancing from the IAC, we outnumber them. If we had 100 kids from the IAC, plus all the kids from Latin America who are very strongly Zionists, plus all the Israelis, plus all the Orthodox Jews, plus all the Russian Jews, all strongly Zionists. If we surrounded them and said, we are proud of who we are, they would fade away like us because we're stronger than them, we're more than them. The other thing I'd just like to mention is, I know it's in your hands right now, it would be lovely if we could strengthen Jewish education from the first grade to the 12th, but right now, our best shot, honestly, is birthright. because it's not educational, it's emotional. We can't afford to lose another 10,000 to 20,000 kids we lost due to the pandemic. Kids who go to Israel and feel their brothers and sisters in the flesh, whether they're Reform or conservative or whatever they are, it strengthens our identity. Then we go back, then we take on our enemies with strength. So whatever you can do would be great, thank you.
You're so right that you know how much I care for Jewish education. I think the problem is, and we need the Secretary of the Minister to work with it, I think we have a problem as a community. We as a community shied away from many things, like you said. We should be just proud, and we should fight. We should say, yes, we are proud Zionists. Israel is not perfect. By the way, the US is not perfect. No one is perfect. But just trying to defend all the time is not going to work. We just need to be proud of all the greatest things that Israel represents, the Jewish community represents. And that's something we need to do a lot here.
There are more proud Jews out there than you know, and saying that young Jews are all against Israel, it defames us. We've got more strength than you think.
You made a very important point. I want to add maybe one last sentence because I see the signs. And I want to quote the biographer of Theodore Herzl, the first one, Alex Bay, also won the award of Israel. So Alex Bay wrote in his book more than 600 pages about Herzl. And the last page, in the last page it says, the mission of Herzl was not to build a state. He saw it only as a tool. He expressed it in his essays and in speeches. And then he gave one example of something that Herzl wrote in a book that was dedicated for the orphans of Kishinev. And he says, when with my entire efforts on earth will be suitable, will be worthy, when the young Jews will be proud Jews. That's it. That was Herzl's mission, and we still have a lot more to do. Thank you.
Very short question, very short answer, so we can get the stage. Just give me, so go ahead.
Good morning, my name is Moshe Zubin. Congratulations to you and Shawn. I hope to do well in your endeavors. In 1970, I'm not going to bring that.
Just a question, because they're going to keep you off the stage.
The question is, all around you, you see mostly Jews over here, and Christians, it doesn't matter, and we're all white. This is what we're showing to the world, the Ashkenazi white person.
I'm Tunisian. I'm sorry, I want to call myself. I am Tunisian. I'm Tunisian.
That's not what it's about.
No.
I know what you mean.
Okay. The question is, we have, I'm sorry, I'm a little incorrect, a mentally retarded Ethiopian boy that is held by Hamas for the past, 5-6 years. He's not white, he's black. The question is, why don't we show him and people like him a Sephardic origin instead of, or work together with the white Ashkenaz?
They tell me the real strength to live in America. So do you have a specific question?
That's a specific. Why don't we show more of the Sephardic dark-skinned Jew instead of the Ashkenazi Jew? Because here in America, it's black and white. That's what it comes down to.
It's a good point. I'm going to ask something, but it's a good point. I agree.
I don't think that this is very relevant because in Israel, I don't feel that we're in a situation where Ashkenazi Jews are in a different position. I don't. Maybe it's something that relates to what's happening in the woke dimension. But I'm not in the woke dimension. I don't see the world through colors. As a Tunisian, I feel very proud to be a Jew, an Israeli, etc.
They waiting for you to get a Thank you guys.